Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It's time for First Look DFS with me and my friend Alisha Hunt, the millionaire maker herself. Did you get close to $1 million last week, Alisha? Did I get close? I did all right. I mean, I had Joe Mixon killed me. I had Hurts. I had Chase, right? I had the nuclear guy, right? I had the McCaffrey last week and the Chase this week. But man, Joe Mixon could have had 87 attempts to score, and I don't think he would have scored on any of them.
Yeah. Nothing. I think the best I had was maybe in the 2000s place. So not terrible, but nothing that was going to make me rich.
Right. You're not going to be my rich friend last week, but let's try to make you my rich friend this week. Let's kick it off. I think we're looking basically at, I'm looking at the games here. There are no some big totals, 42, 45. Let's start with in the Indianapolis and Jacksonville, at Jacksonville. It's a 45.5 spot. I could see people looking at Trevor Lawrence. I could see people looking at ETN after last week. Uncle Rico, better known as Gardner Minshew, not the worst thing that ever happened to that offense. Do you see yourself using Lawrence, Ridley, Kirk? How do you think you're going to play it out?
Yeah, I like Lawrence this week, stacked with Kirk and Ridley actually. And Ingram's one of my favorite tight ends, so I don't mind that stack at all.
Do you like anybody in Indianapolis? Do you like Jonathan Taylor in week number 2? I think maybe a lot of people might not play him thinking that, hey, we saw a lot of Zach Moss. They're never going to bench Zach Moss, but maybe the only reason they played Zach Moss was Jonathan Taylor wasn't ready.
Yeah, I don't, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going to go with Moss again. I just can't imagine, and I could be wrong, I don't know, but I can't imagine they're going to just brush him to the side after what he's been doing. I mean, I know they gave Jonathan Taylor money and they signed a contract and whatnot, but I mean, Moss has just really been stepping up.
He has been stepping up, but I don't know, it feels a little bit trappy to me, so I don't know. I might stay away from that one. Washington and Atlanta. Atlanta played pretty well last week. Desmond Ridder actually threw the ball well. So here's my conundrum. The Washington Commanders' pass defense has been terrible. And you're dying to play Drake London. But you have to remember that Desmond Ridder sucks. And if you play Drake London, he may get you 4 points. Are you willing to play Drake London?
Yes. And I think I'm willing to play Ridder against Washington as well.
Really?
Yeah. I like him as my my sneaky play, if you will. And I'll explain why later when we go into how you can build a lineup with him. But yeah, I think there's some pieces in there. I mean, you can fit a lot of great pieces in there with him.
All right, so let's talk. Can we just talk about that strategy-wise? It seems like people are going into I called it the Erasmo, because it's named after Erasmo Ramirez, the horrible pitcher, where you try to find the cheapest pitcher on a DFS slate, and you just stack the really good hitters. It seems like after the Aiden O'Connell experiment that Las Vegas had, everybody's looking for the cheap quarterback of the week. Whether it's Howell, Jimmy G, Mac Jones, Ridder, and then we take all these guys and try to put them into our rosters. Is that the way to take it down a tournament, by passing on all these stud quarterbacks?
No, not necessarily, but it really varies by the week. I mean, the guy is what, $5,000? I mean, he's cheap. He's put up, let's see, what has he done? The last 2 weeks, I think he's put up 20 points or more. He seems to like to rush the ball in, so there may be some rushing upside there. I just think Washington is just so horrible that really anybody can do anything against him, in my opinion.
So this week, if you think about it, Josh Allen, not on the slate, correct? Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes, not on the slate. Justin Herbert not on the slate. So you don't, outside of Jalen Hurts and Tua, you don't have, quote unquote, the big names on this slate. So I could see this slate being one where you might look to a cheaper guy because, look, if Jalen Hurts against the Jets, if Jalen Hurts only puts up 24, if Desmond Ridder gets you 17, you only lost 7 points and you paid a whole lot more for him.
Yep, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on, let's see. So we talked about Indianapolis, San Francisco, Cleveland. This game is a 37.5. But I would tell you that I'm worried that Deshaun Watson's not playing because I think that rotator cuff is an issue. And there could be a little mess there. Could this be a game where without Watson and with a horrible backup situation that San Francisco throws for another 3 touchdowns, but Brock Purdy goes for another 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Brock Purdy this week. And I mean, look what he did to Dallas last week. I mean, he killed them.
Purdy's a cheap guy too. At 5,600, you're buying him on not paying a lot for him.
Yeah, a lot of discounted quarterbacks this week.
I know, a lot of discounted quarterbacks. Let's talk about Seattle and Cincinnati because this game does feel like if there's any one game early that could blow up a little bit, this is a 45 spot, but this could be a 52, 54 spot. Do you like Chase again this week? Do you like our friend Joe Mixon? Do you like Metcalf, Geno, Kenneth Walker? Any pieces you want?
So I think Burrow's back to Burrow. He looked pretty good last week. I don't mind going back to Chase, stacking him with Burrow. And I like it even better if Higgins sits out. I don't know if Higgins will sit out, but he's got a rib injury, correct? So he may be okay to run routes, but if he gets hit, that's going to hurt. So I don't know how effective he'll be or how efficient he's going to be. I don't love the Seattle side of things. Geno just hasn't been great, and I don't know if he's going to be 100% either. So the only interest I have on that side really is Kenneth Walker.
I do like Kenneth Walker, and I think they're getting a couple of their offensive linemen back this week. And Cincinnati has not stopped the run very well at all. But there are other running backs I like way more, and we'll talk about those guys shortly. Speaking of those guys, I think Alvin Kamara is going to be the highest owned running back on this slate. Is he good chalk or bad chalk?
Right now he's coming in sub 10%, so I don't know if he is. I think everybody, and their mom's going to be all over Mozart. So I want to keep an eye on that. But yeah, I mean, Houston they've allowed the 7th most fantasy points per game to running backs this season. They're not good at closing in on running backs, and he's been doing well the last 2 games he's been back in.
Am I a chalk donkey if I just put in Kamara and Mostert and then figure out my lineup around that?
No, I think Mostert's going to have a good game, and he's kind of like last week you needed to have some of those running backs in there. I mean, this could be another week where you could throw 2 running backs in and 1 in the flex because there's some great options and they're pretty cheap this week, where you could win the milli on that.
I think so too. I really do. All right, let's talk about the big game, Carolina and Miami. There's something inside me that says, you know what? Don't overthink this. Tua, Mostert, Tyreek, figure it out around that. Don't play around. Could I win $1 million with that concept?
You could, absolutely. My only problem I have with this, so I have two thoughts on this game. The first thought, in Miami always scares me because they're so good. Their offense is just like banging on all cylinders at once. I mean, they're doing so great. I'm afraid this could be a blowout, number one, which I said about them last week as well. But I don't know. I think Bryce Young, as much as I hate to even say his name or think about even picking him, he did okay last week, and I think they're going to have to be playing from behind in this game, and stacking him with Thielen might be kind of a sneaky little deal that you could even get Mostert and Hill in the game and just exclude Tua.
Oh, so okay, so that's interesting. I think about this a lot. It's like last week. I did a lineup where I had Hurts, Mixon, Chase. Right? I guess I should have had Joe Burrow, but I didn't. Here, do you need Tua to be successful? I would argue because Tua has no mobility, then maybe he's not worth it.
I don't think that you need to. I think again, I would prefer Young for his price, and he's going to have to throw the ball a ton. And we all know who his favorite target is.
The problem, though, with this team is that they play a very slow offense. They're not helping Bryce Young out in any way, shape, or form. They played a very fast offense at Alabama, and now this offense is like painfully slow. And I don't know. It feels like they're not helping this guy be successful. And Miles Sanders is terrible.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Minnesota, Chicago. You don't have Justin Jefferson, but you still have Cousins. You still have Hawkinson. You got Osborne. You have Jordan Addison, who I think is now very much in play. On the other side, you have DJ Moore. You have Cole Kmet. Do you like this game to blow up at all?
Yeah, I really like this game. I love both quarterbacks in this game. I think it's going to either one of them is great to pick. Fields has definitely come alive. I love stacking him with DJ Moore all day long. I mean, I think they're going to just nuke it. And I really like Cousins a lot. Now, there's a questionable take on Addison as of practice today. So I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know how bad he is or what the deal is. But if he can't go, then Hawkinson and Osborne are gonna be locks.
Right, and then you could have a lineup that basically was like Fields, Moore, Hawkinson, and Osborne, and just run with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a great game.
Did Addison tweak something in practice?
Give me 1 second. Let me take a look here.
You are right. Tending to an ankle issue.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, look at you giving me some bad news, but I'd rather have the bad news early in the week than late. Okay, New England, Las Vegas. I want to talk about two things. One, do I want a team that has Adams and Chase and just say, look, I want two dudes who could put up 40? And then B, do I want to spend a whole ton of money on the Raiders defense?
I think they're one of my favorite defenses this week. I don't love any of their really cheap defenses, to be honest, and that kind of sucks, but that's where you can kind of pivot off of picking a cheaper quarterback and spending up a little bit more for defense, which I don't usually love doing, but it's a week-to-week basis. I love Adams in this game. I think, New England's just been horrible. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is. It's like you never expect this from the team, but they I don't even see how they score. I just don't see it. Mac Jones, I don't think Mac Jones is a bad quarterback. I don't think they've helped Mac Jones. His receivers, we know his receivers, Parker, Bourne, Juju. I'm not sure if any of these guys would start on another team. That's how bad they are.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, let's get to some of the later games. I know we talked about that one. Let's just talk about the Jets and Philadelphia. Is there anybody that you're into in this game whatsoever? Swift, Brown, Breece Hall. Philadelphia's run defense hasn't been sensational. Maybe it's been good, but their pass defense has been shaky. Is there anything you like in this game, or is this a fade?
I don't like anybody on the Jets this week, unfortunately. I tried to give Wilson the benefit of the doubt last week, but he failed me. It's unfortunate, but I do like Swift a lot this week, and I like Hurts, but I like Hurts more of like a stack with Goddard or by himself. If you want to go the expensive route,
right? A naked Hurts, basically.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Detroit and Tampa. So we saw Detroit obliterate Carolina last week, which I think we all knew was going to happen. I don't like Detroit on the road I love Detroit at home. I'm not saying they're going to lose to Tampa on the road. I just don't ever feel like it's a blowout, blow-up 40-point performance. Do you like Montgomery? I don't know whether St. Brown plays, but if he does, do you like him? Do you like Rashad White? Do you like Godwin? Any plays in this game?
I agree with you. I don't like Goff on away games. He's proved that since last year. And the Bucs, not a bad defense. They've only allowed like 240 some yards and one passing touchdown per game this season. So I don't really know. I don't love Montgomery this week. I don't. I guess the only interest I really have in this game as of right now, which may change, but I don't mind Baker if Evans is able to play, and only if Evans is able to play.
Our friend JS says Baker this week's on fire for him. Look, Baker could be, is he that cheap quarterback? I mean, he's not dirt cheap, is he? What's Baker? Oh, 5,400. Could Baker be, because here's my thought. I think the Detroit Lions defense may be the most highly owned, or am I crazy to think that?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I don't know if that's accurate, but they are pretty steeply owned already. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were a cheaper defense that is owned.
Right. So if I play Baker, I'm getting leverage on that defense. If 15% of people are playing and I play Baker, I can knock him out.
Yep. I really like Baker a lot, but I like him more if Evans plays. He and Godwin just they don't have that chemistry quite yet that Evans has with him.
Jay asking about Tompkins. JS, I prefer Trey Palmer, but I will give you my sneaky player in this game. His name is Cade Otton, and because Detroit has not been great against tight ends, and Baker does like Cade Otton a little bit, he would be a guy, but there's a tight end I like way more. I love Logan Thomas this week. I mean, he will be etched into every one of my lineups. All right, let's talk about what possibly, it's the highest scoring game on the slate, and I think it's well deserved of that. It's Arizona at the Rams. So you got Kyron, you got Stafford, you got Puka. Cooper Kupp looked amazing. On the other side, there's no James Conner. Josh Dobbs will probably have to throw more. Keontae Ingram, DeMercado. You've got Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz. This game could have some fantasy goodness, Alisha.
Yeah, I like it. I like Stafford, and I don't even mind throwing Puka and Kupp in there, stacked with him, and maybe running it back with a little bit of Marquise Brown. Dobbs may also be a nice option. He didn't come in for me last week like I wanted him to, but he also didn't do horrible. I think this is a good game.
I happen to like Dobbs a lot because I love guys who disappoint us one week, and then all of a sudden this week he does better. I think he's going to have to run more without Connor. He's going to have to run more and throw more. And they're going to be behind in this game, so he's going to have to do more, right? So this feels like unless the Rams defense plays out of its mind, this feels like Josh Dobbs garbage time all over the place to me.
Yeah, you could be right. Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned playing Kupp and Chase. Kupp is $9,000. So for $9,000, and we want 3x, that means we need, and I'm not good at math, but I'm good at this kind of math, I need 27. 27 means I'm going to need, 10 for 120 and a touchdown, or I'm going to need 2 touchdowns. Can I get that nuclear game from Kupp?
Against the Cardinals defense, yes.
But if I do, then I won't get it from Puka Nacua.
That's true. Yeah, I would probably take Kupp over Puka in the game.
And then if I do that, I don't get it from Kyron.
So you could stack Kyron, Kupp. That wouldn't be bad either.
So basically just get Stafford, Kyron, Kupp, and try to get every Ram touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Cardinals have been giving up a lot of points. That's the only reason why I would stack it like that.
Yeah, the Cardinals have given up a lot of points. I mean, I just see this game and I know I have to have pieces of it. It feels to me, though, that if there was ever a game that Cup is going to get that, when I look at this and say, who can hit that 40, right? Or like Jamar Chase, right? McCaffrey. Doesn't it feel like this is Cup's week to get 15 targets?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to go nuts.
Right. So he's the must guy that I need on the slate to win.
Yeah. I like him a lot.
Pete, who's the biggest Ram fan I know, says I might stack Stafford, Cup, and Puka and basically get every single, unless it goes to Tutu Atwell, you're going to benefit there.
Yep.
All right, Alisha, talk to me. Who is your stack of the week? Who is the stack of the week that I need this stack to win?
My stack of the week, I like Cincinnati.
Interesting.
I think they're going to do well.
You want Mixon? You want Burrow? You want Chase? What do you want?
Mixon hasn't done anything for me this year. I'm not going to, I picked him a little bit last week, but again, like you said, he didn't do anything that he should have. Yeah, I see Cincinnati really doing well against Seattle this week.
Yeah, there's so many things going on in my brain in terms of like, how do I put these lineups together? I just feel like I may need to have Chase and Adams on a team because those could be the guys who put up 80 between them. And then I just figure out around that. But at the same time, I love Cooper Kupp too. So I just don't know how do I want to like mesh them. But do I need Burrow in order to be your rich friend this week?
I would say if Chase is going to have another week like he did last week, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, JS didn't believe me. He said we were crazy looking at Burrow last week. We weren't crazy. I'm telling you, this week, the one that feels like it to me, I know the Seattle-Cincinnati game feels good. I'm in on that one. But I'm really in on Arizona Rams. I can't get past that. I can't get past how that game doesn't explode. You have two teams that are not great on defense, and I think you just have points in this game. I think this game could be like a 60.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you at all.
But can I strategically, can I do Dobbs with Kupp, or do I have to have Stafford with Kupp because then I get the extra points?
No, you could do Dobbs. Stafford, I mean, if he gets a lot of touchdowns, then yes, you're going to want Stafford with him. If he gets a lot of yardage, then Kupp's going to get points on his own. I mean, yeah, Stafford's going to get points as well, but it depends how many touchdowns Kupp gets. I mean, if he gets 2 touchdowns and goes for almost 200 yards, well, then, yeah, you're going to want Stafford with him. And Stafford's not that expensive. I mean,
he's not. Stafford's so annoying because he gets 360 passing yards and only 1 touchdown, Alisha. And I'm like, what the heck?
I know. That's the problem with him.
Oh, I know. All right. Who is your sneaky play of the week? Give me somebody that I'm not thinking about that I need to be.
I like Ritter. He's my sneaky play this week.
Desmond Ritter.
I know. I thought I'd never in my life say that.
Desmond Ritter. Are you kidding me?
Simply because Washington has been horrible. I'll give you a lineup if you want with Ritter.
I do. All right, let's put a lineup together. I'm on it. 1 second, 1 moment, please. Fire away. Go.
All right, I've got Ritter, Mostert, Swift, Devontae Adams.
Wait, well, hold on. Swift. All right. Devontae Adams. Go ahead.
DJ Moore.
Oh, I heard he's good.
Yeah, he's all right.
Okay.
I'm going to stack him with Drake London.
Okay.
I've got Evan Ingram as my tight end.
You and Evan Ingram. Does he know about your love for him?
No, but I mean, might have to shout out to him one of these days. I'm actually going to go with Josh Reynolds in the flex position because I like him. I don't know if St. Brown's going to be healthy or not, and I do like Josh Reynolds upside there. And then that allows you to fit the 49ers defense in there.
So Desmond Ridder, Mostert, Swift, Adams, Moore, London, Ingram, Reynolds, 49ers. It's interesting. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, I might tweak it a little bit, and then I've got another lineup for you if we want to spend up on our quarterback.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so Jalen Hurts.
Oh, you're spending all the way up. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mostert. I'm going to go with Madison because if Addison is out, I think Madison might get a few little passes in there. DJ Moore. Drake London. I also like KJ Osborne if Addison's going to be out. Dallas Goedert to stack with Hurts. Sam Laporta in my flex, and the Falcons defense.
All right, so you have Goddard. You're going with a double tight end look there.
Yep.
Can I tell you something? I need to share something with you, and I'm going to embarrass myself. The other one has a higher point total on the optimizer that I'm using here, but I like that because I think Madison is a very underrated play. And let's see. So people, JS loves your lineup, by the way. And Heat loves it too. My friend Mike LaRocca said, who's scoring twice? Walker or Mostert?
I'd say Mostert.
I say Mostert might score like 5 times this week. They actually threw last week. All right, who else would? Osborne's gonna be running the X, big money. I think Osborne is so sneaky to me because people overlook Osborne. Everybody's thinking Hawkinson, everybody's thinking Addison, but Osborne is out there he's on the field a ton. He gets a ton of routes, and I agree with what he just said. Is that Madison is the contrarian play? He is a contrarian play. But let me tell you what I did last week, Alisha. I'm very upset at myself. I really was close to being your rich friend on FanDuel. And I didn't trust myself. So you need to talk to me about this. I need to be talked off a ledge right now. I had Chase. I had Hurts. I had a Chan. I mean, my team was really good. It's really good. Then my last, my tight end and my receiver and my defense. Mm-hmm. Originally, I had Goddard, Dalton Schultz, and the Saints defense.
Oh.
I know. And I changed it for Ertz, Rice, and the Falcons defense. Now, you'd say, look, Ertz and Rice scored. Doc, you're not an idiot. But it's like I had Goddard and Schultz because I knew they were going to be good. But I didn't trust. I'm like, do I want to lose with Dalton Schultz on my roster? Do you ever feel like what you think about on Wednesday and you change your mind 87 times until Sunday kickoff?
Yeah. What I did this last week is I put my lineups in, and Sunday I didn't turn anything on TV because that'll always persuade me to change something. So I didn't put any football shows on, nothing, which was really hard to do. And I went with I had my lineups built and I went with my gut, and I did pretty well, actually. I mean, I didn't, do super, super well, but I did well enough. I probably broke even. And
that's good. Breaking even is never bad in DFS, is it?
No. So winning a milli, it takes a lot of gut instinct and a lot of luck, let's be honest. If all these experts out here could go in and pick the perfect lineups, we'd all be winning, right? So my suggestion is go with your gut instinct, because you could have won some good money with that.
I really could have. Honestly, I came in 32nd in the 222 and add me another 15 points. And with the Saints defense, I could have taken down the 222.
Could have,
and that's where I was. So, I mean, it's a little crazy there. Heat says the double tight end can work. The Ravens, kill people. All right, my plays this week, Alisha, please, I'm begging everybody. I want Logan Thomas in every lineup, okay? I want Logan Thomas in every lineup. I'm going to put him in every lineup. I'm not changing him no matter what I read, no matter what I see, no matter what anybody tells me. I know the Falcons stink against tight ends, and Sam Howell goes to Logan Thomas like it's his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't care what anybody else says. If you don't play Mostert, you will not be my rich friend this week.
Agreed. You got to play Mostert.
You have to play Mostert. I mean, I think I would have played a Chan, but now I don't have to. And I don't think Jeff Wilson's ready. I mean, maybe he plays 5 or 10 carries, but, you know, maybe Chris Brooks. But I can't imagine Mostert doesn't get me 100 yards and a touchdown.
Well, I mean, even when with HN in the game, he still does well. So,
right.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, I hope everybody out there wins their million. Alisha, I hope you win yours. I just hope I win the billion from Powerball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have your million if I can get my billion. I'm equal opportunity like that. Okay.
Sharing is caring.
All right. Well, good luck to everybody out there this week. For Alisha, this is Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.